Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Ask Club and Dev, where we take your questions and we answer them in video form. This edition is going to be me and Alex.
Satoiji asks, will you teach us how to pronounce Eve's name? Eve is pronounced Jen.
No. It actually has the name in parentheses.
No, too bad.
So my full name is Geneviève. I'm Francophone. It's a very, very, very French name, and most of the team is cowards and they will not ever say my name because they know that they're bad at it. Looking at you, Alex, it's Geneviève.
Sir Carrot1 asks, what's the deal with Attar Inc.? Who is this person? Any lore behind this? My last name is Attar, and it's in the game because during the Kickstarter we had one of the tiers set to be create your own level, and a relative of mine who runs a sort of scrap metal company pledged for that tier. So the metal plant in the game is based on that, and we threw the Attar logo, which is his company's logo, into there. And then much later we hired Fabio, whom we never told this to, and he thought it was just a made-up company with my name, so he put it everywhere.
MH4 asks, if you could have any crossover animal character added to UCH, who would you add?
Goose. The goose.
It would not be just any goose, it would be the Untitled goose itself, because it's great, it's amazing. If you haven't played that game yet, what are you waiting for? It's delightful.
Yeah, Schmatko asks, what would be your best advice for each of your community members? Just be nice. It's easy, just be nice.
Literally the number one advice to anyone is be nice. Because when you have that in mind, then everything just follows. The thing that I tend to appreciate the most in community members is people being very proactive in helping one another. So, if someone comes on the Discord and has questions or issues, I always super appreciate when the members of the community go out of their way to try to give answers and help one another, because then that makes sure that people can get answers almost around the clock without needing me to be behind my computer around the clock. Tyrion Gamer asks, how many reports do you get about high-ranked players? There's not that many reports for any individual player out there. I'm more likely to see reports on levels that you make. People who are reporting them for being broken levels, for being impossible to complete, which I know they are not impossible to complete because I know how good all of you are, but I can really understand why people think they are actually impossible. You make insane levels. Kudos on being so good at the game that people think you're cheating.
Index154 asks, would you rather have a gun that shoots fish or a gun that shoots cheese? I think cheese. A gun that shoots out cheese. Will depend on the kind of cheese. But yeah, I can see that has a lot more appeal. Because if it's a liquid cheese, you can aim it at a sandwich. Or it's just cheese curds. Get a receptacle to catch the cheese and you can put in stuff. A gun that shoots fish is asking for problems.
So initially, back when you asked this, which was some time ago, I thought the obvious answer was cheese. But then people actually invented a fish cannon to transport migrating fish upstream, and it is hilarious. It is actually wonderful. If you haven't seen it already, it's just this clear tube that people put fish in and it shoots them up with water to their destination. And the idea of using that to shoot a fish at someone is really, really funny to me. So definitely a gun that shoots fish.
Terry asks, what are your favorite game soundtracks?
So one of my favorite soundtracks from games is the one from Fez. There's a cool acoustic covers version of the soundtrack called Tesseract, and I've been listening to that fairly regularly. Also, in the past 2-3 weeks, I've been listening to the soundtrack from Sayonara Wild Hearts a lot. It's an interactive pop music album.
So I really like the tracks from the Supergiant games, from Bastion, from Transistor. And on top of that, I really like the new Doom soundtrack. It's great.
Index154 asks, what pets do you have? I have a cat. Her name is Snow White. She's an albino cat, so she's very, very white. She has the palest blue eyes. She's adorable. She's my baby. She's very important.
Do you want to talk about your pet?
No. Because I don't live with my pet.
Oh.
Technically, it is now my parents' pet, whom I get to visit, and I get all the pet bonuses, but none of the pet downsides.
That is sick.
Mini T-Bolts is asking if we have any plans on a spooky October update. So there is definitely, for sure, no content update coming to Ultimate Chicken Horse for October. Sorry. However, I did start the Steam event, so I'm inviting everyone in the community to send your specifically spooky levels in Ultimate Chicken Horse on the Steam event page, which I will link to in the description. And I will feature 15 of those levels on Halloween Day at the end of the month. So if you want your spooky level to be featured, please send it on the Steam event. Related to that, Hyper is asking if there's going to be things like limited costumes for Halloween or Christmas or things like that. So this is kind of a bigger discussion. We have talked a few times about the possibility of making DLC for Ultimate Chicken Horse, and this is one of the things that we would be likely to do, to make costume packs for events or with specific themes. That being said, that's not what we're working on right now. We're not working on paid DLC. We're working on a content update proper, free like the previous ones. But yeah, it's something we've thought about. It's something that is entirely possible, but it's still sometime in the future.
Reamnit and Chicken and Royal Kiwi and Nick Noodles all want to know about upcoming updates to the game and if we're updating the game and what's going to be added to the game. Yeah, we're not done with the game forever. There'll be something. Hopefully we can let you know about that soon. But it's there is future content eventually. Alright, that is all the questions I deigned to answer.
You want to do an outro?
Not really.
All right then.
Alright.
So that was it for this edition of Ask Clev and Dev. Thanks a lot, as always, to everyone who is sending their questions. Please keep sending them on, Twitter, Reddit, on the Discord, in the comments of this YouTube video. And we will be grabbing new questions for answering next time. See you then. Bye.
Stop recording. I said stop.